Hey guys, Jono here from Ecommerce SEO. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button below or head on over to our free private Facebook group. Plenty of great discussion going on over there about Shopify SEO. In this video, I just want to go through a bit of a case study of a client site we've been working on for about 6 months now. You can see here on the graph where there was a bit of a downward trend. So this site, it's been ticking along okay and kind of getting a little bit of an increase in overall monthly traffic. And then around about that December period, around about the date it hit, or actually a few days afterwards, we started to see a decline in traffic. It didn't just drop off a cliff like a lot of other sites that were hit by this update. It had a bit of a decline down in that December period. Now, at first glance, it looks like it's actually a seasonal adjustment, but in this particular market for this site, and all other sites within the market, the biggest month has always been December. So when we actually went and looked at Google Search Console, did a little bit deeper research as this was happening, we certainly saw certain pages, and the homepage in particular, that were declining in rankings and then obviously declining in traffic. So the rankings were actually coming down. A lot of the first page rankings were dropping off the first page, and consequently that traffic started to decline. So obviously when this happens, it's easy to panic, which a lot of people do when there's an update. If you've been following what happened around the Google December update in some SEO groups, a lot of really well-known SEOs that have been in the game a long time, very experienced, know what they're doing. Some of their sites got hit massively as well. So it was quite broad, this particular update. And even, we've been doing this a long time, and it's never nice when this happens. Like you can see here, the traffic almost went to zero at one point, which was, obviously not what you want to see. We put quite a bit of work into this site at that time. Again, just using the data to let us tell us where the issues were, what pages were having the issues. And then as we started to roll into January and then into February, you can see that we've just had a nice increase in traffic, and now we're actually hitting all-time highs for this particular site. And quite a good increase as well, like, more than probably 150% increase in traffic, and we're now at the end of February. So it's come back very quickly. So what did we do? Actually, before we do that, I'll just show you the sort of weekly, monthly graphs, and also Ahrefs as well, to sort of give a bit of a comparison. Okay, so here's the weekly graph. Again, just flattens out the curve a little bit, and you can see a similar increase, obviously, using that same data. And then looking at Ahrefs, Ahrefs always kind of spikes a little bit, so this can be, it's actually following the trend, but gives you a bit of a false positive at times. But you can see our keywords are up, and that's just obviously from the last crawl, and organic traffic as well. So, and the organic traffic is a lot higher than that. Ahrefs tends to underestimate organic traffic, and it's sort of it's behind a little bit. So a lot higher traffic than that, but the trend is the same. So you saw the similar type of pullback, but not as steep as what we saw in Google Analytics. So what did we do to turn this site around? So this is a Shopify store, and the more we work with Shopify stores and e-commerce in general, and I think it's it's the same for every type of different site out there. Google is really starting to look at technical aspects of sites, and there's a lot of SEOs out there, a lot of people that don't worry about this sort of stuff and don't think it matters. They want to build a lot of content, a lot of links, and some of them keep it really simple, and we try and keep it as simple as possible as well. But to just get that little extra edge, you need to make sure your technical side of your site is sound as well. This particular site, we'd run technical audits. We use Deep Crawl, and at times we use Screaming Frog, but this is quite it's got a lot of products, this site. So we use Deep Crawl to make sure we get the most accurate data, and actually runs the crawls pretty quickly. And we did fix most of the errors or technical issues were on the site. Simple things like broken links, orphan pages, spider traps where bots they get to a page and then they don't go anywhere else, and you just don't get that efficient crawl for a bot. And then there was also some just silly little issues, things like multiple H1 tags, no H1 tags on some product pages, which was kind of strange because Shopify creates H1s by default, but sometimes you do find, depending on the themes, you do find some weird things that happens with Shopify. And to be honest, we probably didn't go as deep as we could on that first crawl and then fix all those issues. So we did another crawl as this update was rolling out, and we did identify some more. Again, there was some more broken links, orphan pages that we hadn't found, and what we actually did to just help the crawl also was add a HTML sitemap, which we hadn't done before for this particular site. And I think that in particular has helped the crawl budget quite significantly. All the other issues were fixed, and the result is what you can see. We're also continuing our link building campaigns and some content that's been pushing in, and that's an accumulation as well. But certainly there was a correlation with getting that technical stuff really fixed quickly and the uptick we've seen since then. So my point is with this video, Screaming Frog, there's a free version of Screaming Frog. It's actually quite cheap to get the full version. Screaming Frog takes a bit of time if you've got thousands and thousands of products, but for many of you out there, Screaming Frog's going to be fine to run a technical audit on your site, and there's many tutorials out there on how to do that, just to find those issues that can be causing not only declines in traffic but also a bit of a plateau. So it's the more we do it, and we've always known it, but you've got to sometimes see the proof in the pudding. The technical aspects of SEO are really quite important, and in particular very important for e-commerce and obviously Shopify as well. So just a nice little case study there to sort of show once you get those things sorted, the improvement you can get and how quickly you can get that improvement. Like in this case, only a couple of months. Okay, I hope that was helpful, provided a bit of an insight, and thanks. We'll talk to you later on.